And well,
Okay.
hello, ladies.
Hello. Hi.
Oh, another late one for us.
Mm-hmm.
Sipping on
Is.
my tea to help me go to sleep.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
I wanted to ask you, Britt, that tea that you gifted us for Galentine's, so sweet of you. That's decaffeinated, yeah?
There shouldn't be any caffeinated leaves in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. Yours is a stress support, so there shouldn't be any caffeinated stuff in yours.
Okay. Perfect.
And I
I just
added a
wanted
little
to
touch of
set it
lavender to yours.
to mine.
Yeah, there wasn't like I wasn't gonna put lavender in, and then I was like, lavender.
Okay. Because I wanted to drink some at night, but I just wanted to make sure
Yeah,
that
you
there
should be
was.
able to take that at night. It's there's turmeric, ginger, so it might be strong. So I would start with like 1 tablespoon max at first because the turmeric's probably a little strong.
Okay.
Chamomile, lavender, rose, and holy basil, I think's in yours, maybe lemon balm.
Okay. So all the things that make me sleepy. Okay, perfect.
Yes, I hope they're delicious.
Oh yes. Well, so what are we talking about tonight, ladies?
Well, I was thinking that we talk a lot about what we expect in relationships on that end, like what we expect from a man, like kind of our standards, our green flags, red flags, things like that. And I was like, well, we also kind of have to be, the women we want to be in a relationship. So, and since we've gone through a lot, especially like right now, Fallon and I are in that healing era of our lives. Um, and Star has been married for a while now, so we can all kind of share like how we want to show up as women, how Star shows up in her marriage, and just pull it back to like us and our self-awareness in that respect a little bit.
Okay, perfect. I
Yeah.
love
Mm-hmm. Because I think it'll be nice to see both perspectives as well. Like,
that. Hmm.
what you guys are and me, I guess, in the marriage, like what we're looking for, but then how we want to show up. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I love it.
I think I've been thinking about this so much because I have been like in part of like my healing portion of the life coaching certification I'm getting, I have to get break through this part. And I've been stuck on it for a while because I think I'm still trying to protect myself, but at the same time, I want to be open, right, to receiving love. But when it comes to me, I'm like, nope. And then I harden like pretty quickly and I don't want to know anybody. And so my goal obviously is to proactively work on that. Because I can't receive what I want if I'm closed off to it. So I've just been really focusing on response.
Hmm.
And is this me responding, or like is this my ego responding, or like is this the trauma responding, right? Or do I really feel this way? You know what I mean? So I've just been slower at like responses and things like that. And it's kind of interesting to see in real time my brain doing that because I'll just be paused there for a second, like, nope, I don't want to say what I want to say right now. So I'm going to pause for a second. But it's also really cool to experience that in real time, rewiring your habits and your patterns and stuff. So that's my goal for dating this year is to just be a little bit more proactive because I'm self-aware. I know what's going on when I'm being closed off, but you can't be emotionally unavailable in dating at the same time. So yeah, I'm trying to be that.
I like that. And that like moment of, okay, is my brain going this way or is my brain going that way? It is a really difficult thing, I think, at first to like tap into before we start doing it almost subconsciously, I guess, and like you said, rewiring our brains in that ways. And it is as you were describing it, it reminds me of like how I'm training my clients of like building new habits. You got to stop in that moment and literally feel and think and almost picture, okay, well, this happens and this happens, if this happens, and you know what I mean? Like the chain of effect. So seeing you apply it in with dating and your healing journey, like that's wild, girl. That's a whole nother level.
Yeah, it is. It's silly, especially you probably do like with your clients. Probably they have some sort of set a reminder, which you think is so mundane. Like, okay, I'll set a reminder. Just set a reminder. No, really, even if it's dating or relationships or whatever, like remind yourself to be
Yes.
cognizant of how you're behaving and
Yes.
just take things a little bit slower and be okay with that. I think the biggest phrase I think is that trust, right? Trust is difficult for me. But I keep reframing it as if I don't trust others, I don't really trust myself to be making the right choices and bringing it back to myself and my own intuition. And that, like, that's the lessons I feel like I've been learning in my dating thus far is I'm not listening to intuition. I'm convincing myself to like this person because I think it's what I should do, as opposed to just knowing deep down it's not really what I want. So one, trusting myself there, and then bringing in that okay, now calm your nervous system so you can make a clear decision or response to this. So you know if this is like what's really going on.
Hmm. I actually just set a reminder. I actually canceled it because it was like in the beginning of the year, I wanted to focus on starting my day out with more gratitude. And I feel like I've made it a practice now, like at least one time in the day. It's not usually at the very beginning of the day if I forget, but yeah, like little things like that, girl. It really does work.
Yeah,
I'm
it does.
excited for you.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, the other thing too is that I have to be very proactive about also is deciding what's going to happen with someone before I even get to know them.
Hmm.
Like, how do I explain that? Well, you guys know I'm big on the energy thing, and I think I can pick up on energy very well. But more than that, like we've always talked about kind of like those foundational things of like what we're, if you don't have this, the life, if you guys don't want the same lifestyle or the same kind of future or whatever, then there's really no point because I'm not going to change my mind. You're not going to change yours. And I don't want to convince you to, and I don't, I don't want there to be any resentment in my relationship. So, if that is not something you're going to budge on and something not something I'm going to budge on, then we just don't work already. So there's no point in me continuing to date you. But I don't want to keep writing people off because I think that way at the same time.
Mm,
I want to be open-minded and actually be open-minded. Like I can't just be like, oh, I'm open-minded to going on a date with you, but I already know in my head the decision I've made, you know? Because
Hmm.
then subconsciously, yeah, that's going to be how it goes. So
yeah, everything's
that is,
gonna align to that. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I'm trying to be very, which is probably the hardest thing I think so far has been because I can just I feel differently with different energies around me. And I feel like I already know, I already know what's going to happen. And I think I just have to tell myself, like, it's okay if I do know and that's how it's going to go. Um, but just don't think about it yet. Don't think about it yet. So I'm trying to be like that, be more in the moment, I guess you would say, as opposed to
Oh,
knowing there.
yeah. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm really dating. But when I do, this is the stuff I'm gonna do.
Oh man.
How
Yes.
about you, Val?
Um, I feel like for me, because I'm not dating either, I think, I'm still focusing on my healing. Like Britt said, we're in our healing journey. I just feel like we're always going to be healing, whether we're in a relationship or not.
Yeah.
But I feel like for me, like big things are giving up control of my timeline. I feel like that's always been a really big one most of my life. Like I've always had this timeline for myself that I'm going to be married by this age, kids by this age. So much so I ended up getting married because I was behind on my timeline. And that's literally why I got married. And then that, was awful, clearly. And so I think just really focusing on not wanting to control everything. I feel like I'm the most right now I'm not controlling any I'm like trying to fight all the control, but I'm in the best place when it comes to letting go of control than I think I have been my whole life. Because I'm like, I'm 36. Obviously, I want to be married. I want a baby, those two things more than anything. And it's like we are getting up there, I'm aware, but at the same time, it's like it's gonna happen when it's gonna happen, whether I want it to happen now, whether I'm like clinging on to the fact, whether I'm not clinging on to the fact. So I'm just really trying to let go and focus on that one. And I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job, the best job I have done.
Yeah.
My life. So that's good. Um,
And that's a big one.
it is.
Because you and I are so opposite in that way, where I was just like, if I get married, I get married. If I have kids, I have kids. We'll see what happens. Never, really pictured the whole thing. But I do have a client that's been with me for a few years. And she turned, because she's in her mid 40s now. But when I first met her, she was like early 40s or barely just turned 40. And she went through a huge depressive spell because she thought by now I was going to be married, I was going to have kids. And so seeing her transition emotionally through just and now, even because she's with a partner, but they're not married. I don't know if they ever will get married. And I don't know. She doesn't think they'll have kids. So just kind of seeing her transition in life of like, and I've been seeing some reels about this too. Like, I kind of thought my life was going to be this, but now it's this. But I will say, career wise, that's kind of where I feel that emotional attachment. Like,
Mhm.
I thought my life was going to be like this, but it's actually like this. And I catch myself during the day, like, I went on a walk earlier today. Like, what if X never actually happens? Will I be happy?
Mhm.
So kind of processing in that way. But I get you, girl.
Yeah, it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't even have to be relationships. Like for me, I'm like, I honestly feel like it's in all aspects of my life, you know? So it's, and like um, the client that you have, like I can totally relate because if you are so invested in that timeline, whether it's in your career, your relationship, like that can really take a toll on you and your mental health. So,
Hmm.
I feel for her and I hope she's happy with her partner and I hope she's not settling just
I
because
know.
of her age. I hope she finds her person and
Me too.
they have their family. If that's what she wants, then that's what's going to happen. I truly believe that no matter what age you are,
Yeah,
it'll happen some way.
absolutely.
Mhm.
So many ways now.
Yeah. And then I think like the second biggest thing for me, the biggest transformation would be realizing that everything I want in someone else, I can give myself. I feel like I've never, ever, ever have felt like that or even thought that way until now. I've always like put my happiness into someone else's hands, whether it was like family in the past or exes or, like my ex-husband or, my last ex that I was so invested in. Like my happiness was always in someone else. And I just never, for 1 second, as crazy it sounds, I never thought that I could just give that to myself ever. I always thought I needed like a family to be happy or a partner to be happy or this to be happy. And it's like, no, because I'm learning now, like even if you had those things, you never will be truly happy with those things if you're not truly happy with yourself.
Hmm.
So but then
That's
it's like
huge.
sometimes you fight and it's like, okay, well, I'm 36 years old and I'm just now realizing this. And kind of back to what you said, Star, it's like, well, what if I realized this earlier on? How would my life have been now? You know what I mean? But it's like, no, you can't get in your head. Like, everything
Hmm.
happened the way it's supposed to happen. Like, I'm realizing this now because I'm supposed to be realizing this now.
Yeah,
So I just
Absolutely.
kind of like focus on the present moment. And so back to kind of circle back to the beginning, how we were going to touch on, what we're doing to become that person for the partner that we want. I mean, for me, it's just been learning how to love myself from the
That's
floor.
huge.
Yeah, and just
Huge.
treating myself the way I want someone to treat me, doing everything for myself the way that I want someone else to do it for me. And I feel like that's just really helped. It's
Mhm.
helped with my mental health. It's just helped with me letting go and of control and just having more faith. Like I just feel like it's helped me all the way around.
Can I ask for our listeners, what has been like a big driver in helping you get to this place?
Honestly, girl, I feel like there hasn't been one. I feel like I've had been kind of waiting for that driver, being like, maybe if I do this, this will help. If I do this, like, I wish I could give you some kind of like tangible list on things I've been doing. I honestly can't, girl. I really can't. Like, obviously, I have a relationship with God. I talk to God all the time. I pray all the time. So I will say, to me, that's the number one thing that always helps me feel better. So I feel
Absolutely.
like just trusting in that and just trusting in my timing. And I don't know, girl. I feel like I just started waking up feeling just like 1% better about it.
Yeah.
I just feel like I have been going through the motions for so long and just like an uphill battle for so long. I think I'm finally just like at
Mm,
the top of the mountain, and I feel like I'm finally just have
mm.
made it over that hump. So
That
yeah,
makes
if I
sense.
could give you a tangible list, I really can. I feel like it's just God. I feel like it's just
Yeah.
my time, my
Yeah,
time
girl. That
realizing
makes
things.
sense to me. I know some people are like, well, I listen to a podcast, I've took this course. Other people are doing both, talking to God, listening to God, girl.
Mhm.
The energies, it's all
Yeah.
kind of like timing and alignment, as I feel like our girl Britt would say,
Hmm.
with alignment.
Absolutely.
I think sometimes we get pushed into like changing those things about ourselves too when we ourselves get tired of being that way.
Hmm.
There's this sense of like, I'm exhausted, and it's not because of anyone else, it's because I'm fighting so hard to like keep these things about myself that I think are protecting me, that I think are what I need to in order to not get hurt again. Control is also a big one for me too, I'd say, because I if I don't have it, then I don't know what's going to happen. But I also know that no matter what happens, I've been okay thus far. So it's my the internal battle of keep hanging on to that version of you or let that version of you go. And sometimes it's like a push and pull, but I'm more exhausted fighting to keep it. It's just got to go.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
I feel that, girl.
Yeah. And that's a
Yeah.
very big reminder for me is I've been okay thus far. After every time I've gotten hurt, after every time something bad's happened or whatever, I've healed, I've gotten better as a human, and I've learned from the experience. So the more positive outlook I have on it, the better I feel through the processes of dating thus far, where I could appreciate the experiences when I'm dating and I can appreciate the lessons I'm going to learn when I'm dating. That's been helpful is like even if I get hurt, even if I am sad, even if it takes me months to feel better after whatever happens, I will be better and I will be
Mm-hmm.
okay. And it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't the end of the world.
When I was dating, I feel like every time a guy would like break my heart, something crazy would happen in my life where I would have this total like transition into just another level. So I
Yep.
was like, good thing you broke my heart, dude, because
Yes.
now I've just leveled up.
Yes.
So I
We
feel
really
you there.
do. We really do. I think especially like women specifically, we glow up. It's a glow up. It's a glow up every time we're leveling up.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
don't know if it works the same for men. I
I don't know.
I don't think it does.
I haven't seen glow ups from men the way I've seen them like with
Right.
women.
Right. And I think it's because
Right.
we have the power, we have the magic, and we just gave it away for a second. So when that happens, we get it all back and then some.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that I mean, we all get scarred, but their scars turn into like the opposite of the glow up, whatever that is. I don't even know. I'm like, whoa, you've got so many issues. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm definitely excited for you too, and these transformations and it's crazy. I just like I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah. Real quick from a marriage standpoint, how do you feel like you show up in your marriage, to keep it as strong as it is?
Yeah, I think, well, I always say I'm like the least traditional wife ever, because has does just he just does so much for us. Like literally, I I do cook now because I meal prep. So there's that. But if there was no meal prep with my squad, I wouldn't even cook. I don't do laundry. I don't clean this house. You know what I mean? I'm just
All these
like
ladies are gonna be like, "Where do you find your man? And where can we get one?"
I
Buying you all this
just
jewelry
yeah.
on the first date, honey, showing up at work with your diamonds. Like, where can we find this man?
Where? I don't even know how I found him. Well, he found me, but
Did find you.
he good thing cleaning is his therapy. He just loves it. But I do spend more time at the gym. That's where I'm like, okay, 2026 star. You guys would be so proud. I did laundry like 2 weeks ago.
Good
A
for you,
whole
girl.
two loads,
Oh, it's good for
folded
you.
and everything. I skipped the gym. I was like, I'm gonna do this laundry for Huz because it's here. I
Okay,
mean,
good.
for
So
us,
were his
for
clothes
us.
in it too, or is it just yours?
It's two. Yeah, it's all
Okay,
together.
per.
But
Oh no, I just
outside of,
did mine. No. That's
but
sweet.
more of like the emotional ways, I think in the last probably year, I've just been more focused on like checking in on us and where we're at. If there's anything that maybe I'm doing that I don't mean to be doing, or, just that we're on the same page, if that makes sense. Like, I want to show up for him because he shows up for me emotionally, physically, mentally, and all the things. So I'm trying to be better at, like, well, yeah, the physical stuff, like showing up and doing the things, but emotional check-ins are really big for us right now. And again, I have a reminder on my phone because if I miss it, life is just so go, go, go for us because we're always working and seeing someone and doing all that. But trying to be more like emotionally present because I
Mhm.
just don't think that I was really raised that way, is what my therapist was trying to tell me. So it's easier for me to just cut that off and, you know, do all the other stuff. So in my 30s, getting more in tune with it, I think is really beneficial.
Good. I like that. I like
Yeah.
those emotional checks.
You guys
Yeah.
have like a set day and time that you do those? Or is it just,
So I put it in my reminder. My girlfriend, you guys know Becca, her and her boyfriend, I think I might have got this idea from her, but it's like every 2 or 3 months, I just get a little reminder in my phone, like that quarterly check-in, would it be? Yeah. Um, but he, I think, is just better at, every once in a while, just like randomly
it's
diving
on your
into
mind? Kind
yeah.
of. Hmm.
But Paul has this new thing he started, I want to say late last year, where it's not every morning, but a lot of mornings I wake up to like just this long, sweet, like note from him, which he knows I'm trying to wake up in the mornings and not be on my phone. But I will read his sweet, sweet message because it's usually like he's so good at poetry. So he'll say just like the
Oh,
sweetest, sweetest poems, and sometimes they're long, but I
and
do
he's
love
a
them.
poet. Ugh.
Oh my God, he's been writing
Jeez.
songs, you guys. I don't know if I told you on the side back in the day, he used to like sell his poems as art for artists and things. So
Girl, the
Wow, a man of
sweetness.
many talents.
the- Yes.
so random.
I mean, I cannot believe I'm just now finding out he writes poetry. I mean, I'm just,
Yeah. So I was trying to be thoughtful for his birthday last year because he's been writing these letters for me. I'm like, you know what? I got this little book. It's called Letters to My Husband. So I will do like whenever I remember, I will write like just a little sweet poem back. I'm not as good as him
oh,
though.
That's sweet. It's the thought though, even if like You're like, well, I'm not a poet, but he's gonna probably just like love that so much.
Yeah, he does. It's like,
It's
what'd you write for me
Cancer heart.
today?
Yeah.
Yeah. The cancers.
Yeah.
They're so sweet.
Yes. Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Sweetheart.
That was
There
a
we are.
nice little combo.
There we are again with
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, it's love month, okay?
Love month.
Love month, star month. We love you.
They're like,
Celebrations.
I'm excited to celebrate with you guys too. Good
Yes.
month. Well, thanks, Britt. I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Yeah, what let us know, listeners, what you think about this topic. Let us know your 2 cents. What, if you're single, what are you doing to become that person that you want to be for your future partner? And if you're in a relationship, what do you do to help keep that relationship strong and healthy and where both of you are happy?
Yeah, I think because it's just so easy, like I was saying in the beginning of our conversation, it's so easy to make a list of like, I want this, 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 I expect this, this, this. But then how often are we really turning that mirror and like looking at ourselves and being like, am I, as Bert said, showing up as the woman I want to be for this man with the checklist or woman, with the checklist that I've got, you know? So I love it. This was a fun, I was gonna say game, but not really a game, but like a fun little thought.
Yeah,
I like
absolutely.
it. Well, until next time, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.